welcome to the heart of Ohio, Centerburg, as we're set to go for some KMAC between the Mount Gilead Lady Indians, riding high after their first win in the league in 4 seasons, as they take on the perennial powerhouse, the reigning champions, the Centerburg Lady Trojans. Should be a good one tonight. Stay tuned, live and free on the OH Report.
Looking for the best high school sports coverage in Ohio? You found it right here on the OH Report. From the field to the court, we've got it all. OH Report brings you local coverage like nobody else in the area, live and free. Follow OH Report now and never miss a moment of the action. Don't just watch, be a part of the game with OH Report, the future of local sports.
Every time that we walk in, we know we're going to walk into a place that's very clean, and when we walk in, we have a professional environment to come to. The reliability of Pinnacle is always on the spot. We've been with them 16 years so far. They're committed, they are professional, they are very transparent with their pricing, and they excel at meeting every goal and every need we have.
From primary care to orthopedics, women's health to pain management, the Knox Community Hospital Centerburg Health and Wellness Center provides excellent care for virtually all your family's healthcare needs. Comprehensive lab services are also offered at our state-of-the-art facility. Podiatry and surgical consultations too. The Centerburg Health and Wellness Center. It's a world of great care right around the corner.
Take a look at all the action from Friday Night Football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
Time now for your pregame show, brought to you by Webb's Marathon and Automotive right here in Centerburg on East Main Street. Jonathan Langdon alongside Xander Duvall as we're back for some more volleyball here on the OH Report. Doubleheader of volleyball action also taking place later elsewhere in Ohio. Tuslaw going up against Orville here tonight, live and free. But today you're watching KMAC action. Mount Gilead and the Lady Indians, fresh off of their first win in quite some time, take on an opponent that has had their number in the past, pretty much over the past decade. 4-1, the Centerburg Lady Trojans sit unblemished in the KMAC. But first, let's talk about those Mount Gilead Lady Indians and how they come into this game riding high after a 4-set win over East Knox.
Yeah, Jonathan, you and I called a couple KMAC games this year already, and I can't say that we've seen something quite as historic as the Mount Gilead Indians win the other night. Obviously, hadn't won a game in the KMAC since 2021, so it was a massive win, not only for their season this year, but also their program overall. And it's definitely going to be a high for them. They're going to hopefully be able to ride that high and show Centerburg a little bit of a fight tonight.
You see them out on the court right now. They're wearing purple tonight, just like their opponents East Knox did on their home court on Tuesday. And right in the middle of that shot, our player spotlight today, which was someone that had her moments in that East Knox game, starred in it. And Cassidy Irwin, our player spotlight today, one of the 4 seniors that we interviewed for the MVP 2 nights ago. 11 kills on the year, 9 blocks, she's a good presence in the middle. She's going to have to be tonight.
Absolutely, yeah. Some may think that this is Abby Leonard's show in and out, but it's really not. Cassidy Irwin only 0.1 kills per set behind Abby Leonard in kills per set, and only one total kill down on her for the lead for this Indians team this year. In the East Knox game, when they had an overpass, she put it down without question. She had some great blocks. So the serve receive of the Centerburg Trojans is going to have to be on point tonight because she will make them pay if it's not.
Speaking of the Centerburg Lady Trojans, they come into today 3-0 in the KMAC. They are 17-0 in their last couple of contests, dating back to last year as well. Cruising through. You see those three opponents, Cardington, Loudonville, East Knox, 9-1, and just undefeated since 2014 against this Lady Indian squad that wants to try to at least take a set. They haven't taken a set since that 2021 season we referred to earlier.
Yeah, I think if Mount Gilead was able to take a set tonight, that would be considered a win on their part. The Centerburg team's just very good, right? I mean, we saw them play East Knox. They swept them. The last set was close, but the first two were really just in dominant fashion. And they are led by many great hitters. The offensive firepower for the Trojans is really just something else.
And our spotlight today is going to be one of the sophomores that leads them in kills, Jasmine Larimore, 57 coming into today. Team high 77 digs, and then also 9 service aces to go along with that. So Weisbrod, of course, leading the league in kills, but the Robin to her Batman is right there in 14 in white.
Yeah, Jasmine Larimore, I mean, while she is second in kills to Weisbrod, the Robin sometimes gets overlooked, and you definitely do not want to overlook Jasmine Larimore. She, on the outside, can damage you just as much as Sedona Weisbrod can, even though Sedona gets some more opportunity, but it's going to be a great game, and she's definitely going to get hers.
Just about 4 minutes till game time. We'll take a break on the OH Report.
Looking for the best high school sports coverage in Ohio? You found it right here on the OH Report. From the field to the court, we've got it all. OH Report brings you local coverage like nobody else in the area, live and free. Follow OH Report now and never miss a moment of the action. Don't just watch, be a part of the game with OH Report, the future of local sports.
Every time that we walk in, we know we're going to walk into a place that's very clean, and when we walk in, we have a professional environment to come to. The reliability of Pinnacle is always on the spot. We've been with them 16 years so far. They're committed, they are professional, they are very transparent with their pricing, and they excel at meeting every goal and every need we have.
And welcome back live and free on the OH Report. Jonathan Langdon alongside Xander DeVault. Centerburg taking on Mount Gilead in another KMAC matchup here tonight. Solid home crowd for Centerburg to my left. Mount Gilead, they always bring a pretty solid crowd. They definitely did on Tuesday in their win against East Knox, but they are out here strong as well. And just both of these teams being introduced right now at the moment, and I think it's time to start with Mount Gilead as they get introduced and talk about their keys to victory. And I think just keeping a level head in a game like this where the frustration's probably going to surmount because the Centerburg team is just so good. If you kind of stay composed, you have a good chance to keep runs from getting any worse than they possibly could.
Yeah, this Mount Gilead team comes in, I mean, no shocker, as a big underdog. This Centerburg team been dominant for years here in the KMAC. But don't underestimate the power of a hot team, and Mount Gilead after winning their very first KMAC game in 4 years on Tuesday. They are definitely hot right now, and they're hungry for a win. But yeah, firm blocks definitely on that outside. They're going to have to block Jasmine Langmore, going to have to block Sedona Weisbrod. I mean, it's just something you have to do if any team wants to take down Centerburg.
And then keys to victory for Centerburg, I just think feeding the hot hands, that's really all you got to do. Just keep doing what's working. Don't change anything up. You're going to want to try to get your 4th win in the KMAC this year, and just simply leave no doubts. Don't give Mount Gilead a second of a thought that they could potentially take any set here tonight.
Yeah, a lot of the time when you see a team get upset by a quote-unquote lesser opponent, it is because they change up things, right? They get flustered if they're not doing well, and they change things up. But when it comes to the Centerburg team, their team is good. We know that. They have great players on the squad. They have fantastic offensive firepower, like I said earlier. And, I mean, they're going to have to use it tonight, and they always do. So as long as they do what they do, and they do what they do well, then they should be fine.
Going to take it over to set number 1 here. Want to take a second to thank our sponsors before proceedings start tonight. Thanks to Webb's Marathon and Automotive, your pregame, halftime, and postgame sponsor. Of course, here for volleyball, just pregame and postgame. Stop by Webb's Marathon to join the Webb's Rewards program, where you can earn dollars off fuel and free drinks and coffee. Go Trojans. I don't know about you, Xander, but as a broadcaster, the cents off of gas sounds fantastic. Also, thanks to Ohio AmVets Post 59. There we honor our veterans, celebrate our community, cheer for the Trojans, and welcome everyone to come enjoy great food and drinks at the club. Thanks also to Monarch Title Services, a longtime sponsor of the OH Report. If you're selling or refinancing your real estate, you get to choose the title company. Why not support those who support the Trojans and close with confidence anytime, anywhere? And then thanks also to Schmidt Security Pro. From the field to your front door, trust Schmidt Security Pro to protect what matters most. I saw a bunch of their signs on my way here to Centerburg. So already well established. If you aren't already along the page, make sure to go join Schmidt Security Pro. And then also thanks to the Centerburg Knox Community Hospital, their health and wellness center, which I also drove by on the way in today, offering specialty services like family medicine, urology, general surgery, weight and pain management, and pediatrics. And thanks finally to Pinnacle Building Services. Elevate your professional space with tailored cleaning solutions that promise unmatched quality and reliability. And just like that, Xander, that's how you do an ad read. We are underway today.
We are underway.
Joust at the middle. That'll get tapped down out of bounds. So Mount Gilead scores the first point of the day.
And they'll take that. Any unforced error that Centerburg is going to cause tonight is going to just allow Mount Gilead to creep in the game, and they're definitely going to take anyone they can get.
This one's also served in bounds. How about this start from Mount Gilead? 2-0.
An ace there from Abby Leonard. Abby Leonard, the leader in aces for this Indian squad. That puts her at 12 on the year, over double the amount of the second Lady Indians. So she has been dangerous from the service line thus far.
She'll try to go again. Gets this one over. Top spin on it. Larimore digs it up. Set to the far side. Weisbrod puts that right off the platform of Leonard to get Centerburg on the board tonight.
That's what we talked about. Trojans going early out to Sedona Weisbrod, who obviously leads the KMAC in kills. That one, just Abby Leonard couldn't handle it. Too much heat down the line.
Back to serve. Jalen Caldwell forces a solid fight out of Mount Gilead, and then Ayers launches that out of bounds. So the Trojans even things up at 2.
We saw Ayers do that quite a bit on Tuesday against East Knox in the Mount Gilead win. She swings real high, real hard, goes for the hands, and tries to get tools. That time, not able to get it.
Trojans get their first ace of the day thanks to Caldwell. You'll see it again thanks to Monarch Title Services. Just snuck it over the net. Oliver couldn't receive it. This time Whipple will receive the serve. It's tapped over by Ayers. Caldwell sets right back to Weisbrod. Solid up that time, Kylie Rigdon. But miscommunication in the middle between Whipple and then Irwin, our player spotlight. Trojans lead 4-2 after giving up the first 2 points.
Yeah, Sedona Weisbrod having a lot of success here early on that outside, going down the line. I can't quite tell whether she's going beside the block or over it, but she is definitely high up there. And it's going to be a tall task to ask that line defender to dig Sedona all night.
That goes out of bounds, so Kimberly Traynor, she will go ahead and serve this. Substitution also for the Lady Indians. Cameron Harris joins the front row. Larimore receives the serve. Caldwell the set right back to Sedona. And she just finds the line. Nice little paint job.
Yeah, nice cross shot there from Weisberg. She's able to, like we talked about, just saw it there. She's gone down the line twice, got 2 kills, and then that one able to go cross, so she can do it all.
And she's back to serve 2, and she gets an ace. Proves your point right there.
She really can do it all, can't she, Jonathan? Great play.
Continue to go down the line. Just a sophomore, too. The youth on this team for Centerburg is something to behold. As here's yet another ace. And the Trojans threatening to run away with things here. They just have 1 senior on the roster, that of which we have not seen take the court yet. Another ace, 3 in a row.
Yeah, Weisbrod's got a great serve. There's no question about that. But I'm kind of confused by how serve receive. It's almost like they're hiding their libero, almost a 2-woman serve receive against a great serve in Sedona Weisbrod's.
Free ball. Trojans will have a chance. Yet again, they'll go to Larimore. Far side. Off the block it goes. Solid by the Indians. And Whipple will have to just free this as well. Caldwell. Tough set. This goes back to Mount Gilead. They'll get a chance to reset. Irwin over the block. One right to the campfire. That won't get over. Decent effort from the Indians. But yet again, Trojan strike. They are on a 9-1 run.
And since they're all trying to put out the ball, the really open because both players are kind of squished into the middle, and so that's how she's been able to get a lot of those aces. As right there, going to have an under call, so it will be point to the Trojans.
Gilead started off so well, but now we'll see a timeout from Lindsay Wyeth. Wants to talk things over. That is a 10-1 run from the Centerburg Lady Trojans.
Sedona Weisbrod been dangerous so far from the service line as she's found success hitting the lines in the front row on the outside and the right side. She's also found success from the service line hitting the lines as well. So she's been very calculated and efficient to start this one.
Checking in elsewhere over at Orville, our first volleyball broadcast there. Doesn't look like they have started things there yet. But the Red Riders, pretty solid team, 3-1. Gonna have a good chance to win that Pac-7, a new conference that we're covering on the OH Report. Mostly just Orville, but looking to expand out there soon. Travis, of course, a good friend of mine, a good friend of the OH Report, good friend of many of you, as he's former KMAC Trav. He has made the move to Massillon to help us expand eastward. Another ace here for the Lady Trojans. Weisbrod continues to roll on the service. Ayers sends this. Caldwell sets, and right down the middle. How about that swing, Zoe Evans?
Wow, what a swing out of the middle there. You're going to see it on the replay. You give a free ball to Centerburg and come down to put it away.
Just over that 10-foot line. Trainer puts one up. Haven't been able to have any solid swings to really threaten this defense for Centerburg, and as a result, there's yet another point, 12-3.
Yeah, good swing out of Addison Williams there on the right side. Haven't seen a lot of offensive production this game. Sedona Weisberg has been from the service line, but we see a nice kill there.
Another solid serve from Weisbrod. She continues to stack up the aces here early in this contest.
A 10-point lead or 11-point lead came on quick.
Awfully quick ever since she stepped foot behind that service line. Whipple receives this one though, and Ayers just at the line will send a standing swing. Larimore will try one right in front of Whipple. The lead is 11.
Yeah, Larimore up and over the ground. That's just a good swing.
Trainer stays out of the net this time, and there's another free ball, this time by Whipple. Caldwell, new setter for Centerburg, puts it on a platter for Jasmine Larimore.
You're stuck in a rut like this. Basically just kind of hoping that Centerburg will make a mistake at some point.
And what we didn't see out of Centerburg when we saw them play last week against East Knox-Zander was a solidified setter that really put things out and made things work for this team, as Weisbrod misses wide on that and gives Mount Gilead some life, ending that 15-1 run. But that's where we've seen Caldwell, 16-1 run, but that's where we've seen Caldwell kind of step in here today so far.
Yeah, Caldwell's been fantastic. A lot of the sets that the Trojans are able to put away really are just thanks to the placement. And Caldwell's been fantastic. To Mount Gilead because Evans got the kill, but was in the net.
So 16-5 reflected on our scoreboard. Larimore will try again, gets the point right back. In big fashion, too. Take a look at this again.
Yeah, we talked about Larimore before the game. She's fantastic. It's almost like a Batman B situation. I don't even know if there is a Robin. I mean, Jasmine Larimore is just as talented as Sedona Weisbrod, and she's showing it tonight.
Got to think, pretty much every other team in the KMAC, she would be a star. And she still is for the Centerburg team. As she tries again, that one goes off the tape, and Mount Gilead just lost the ball. 18-5.
Kills a kill right there. Not how you want it to look if you land there, but it's going to go down as another kill in the session. She's got quite a few in the first set.
Zoe Evans continues her run at the line. Free ball by Cameron Harris. Caldwell back to the middle. Not cleanly hit that time by Mary Beth Vines. See if they give it to her again. No, they'll go back to Larimore. Stays out of the net nicely. 19-5.
It's hard if you're the block and Mount Gilead because Larimore just continues. Kind of to play go up and over the block. Straight down.
Good fielding by the Indians. Caldwell yet again goes back to Vines. Indians trying to go on the attack. They nearly did get one down, but good job by Weisbrod to be ready. This sails out of bounds. So the Indians hit 6. Now we'll see a substitution. Looks like Ayers will go back to serve. Checking in is Abby Leonard to the front row.
Very close swing, Madison Williams. We saw her hit basically the line earlier. She tried to go for it again, just a little bit too far in that one. As I see the first ace of the game. No, the second ace of the game.
First one in a while, that is. But Ayers puts one down. Back row just couldn't quite field it for Centerburg. They'll try again here. Leonard, newly installed to the game, nearly forced a free pass. And that bump heads up into the net. 19-8. So Ayers will continue this run. Just got to try to put together some sort of production, and that's what we've seen. 3 straight points out of the Lady Indians. This one nearly at the net, and just a miscommunication results in a point in favor of Centerburg.
Very tactical as she hasn't done it yet.
Cammie Turnbull with a good serve for Centerburg. Ayers just over the net. Caldwell sets back to Larimore, and she continues to cook. 21-8.
Larimore's been a star so far for the Trojans.
Love it when a player spotlight steps up in the spotlight on the OH Report. This ball, however, sails out of bounds, so Turnbull's run at the service line is short. Katie Oliver will return to the game, likely to serve. And that she will. One of the 4 seniors for Mount Gilead. And she gets that one over, forces a tough play out of Weisbrod, and a free ball. Oliver to Trainer, set up the middle. Solid swing, even better dig in the back. Larimore with the roll shot. Nice dig on that last play from Molly Kane. And Mount Gilead can't field a return. 22-9. It's the first time we've really had to say the libero's name for Centerburg. But Molly Kane was in that position last year as a freshman, or as a sophomore. Really excelled as this serve from Larimore goes out of bounds. So Mount Gilead does get to 10 here in set number 1.
Yeah, we finally saw a swing from the Indians offense. But like you said, an even better dig from Molly Kane. I mean, any night where she doesn't have to do a lot of work, I know that their coach is happy.
Turnbull fields the serve. Oliver can't get down for the dig. That's Mary Beth Vines with a kill. And then just going back to Molly Kane, Xander, what do you take out of a team that has, it looks like we're going to see a timeout from Mount Gilead, gives us some time to talk about this, but Molly Kane, just a sophomore, earned her job as the libero for Centerburg. How often do you see younger guys, younger girls guys, I guess you're on the guys team, but at MVNU, but how often do you see younger people take in that role?
Well, I mean, when it comes down to the teams that I've been on and that I've been able to, see the inner workings of, my dad was a coach, so I've been around a team my whole life. It's really just if you can play, then you're on the floor. And, I mean, it seems to be the case. Molly Kane is a great libero, and she won the job at Centerburg. Brings me back to something I interviewed brand new head coach Caleb Blevins for the MVNU soccer team the other day, the men's soccer team. And he told me, he said, we don't really see freshman, sophomore. We don't see it as a tier list. If you can play, you're on the field. Yep. And so I believe that's kind of what we're seeing here with so many young players. I mean, Larimore and Weisbrod, both only sophomores, and then Molly Kane as well. And then it's really a young squad. Only, I believe, one senior. Yeah, only one senior on the Centerburg team, which is scary for the rest of the KMAC.
Speaking of Kane, she'll serve. As Mount Gilead used their final timeout, they trailed 23-10 here in set number 1 against Lady Trojans, who are 4-1 on the year. We're going to go 4-0 in the KMAC after tonight. This ball tapped down by Evans. Whipple makes up some ground, and the Indians will have to defend again. Evans off the tape. That goes out of bounds, but there was a touch. So it'll be set point Lady Trojans.
Yeah, they're going to say there was a touch. Yeah, Centerburg will have a chance to go up 1-0 here in this one, as I know they often do in many of their games. So I'm sure they're going to be happy with how they played.
It did take a while last year. I don't have a specific number, but it took a while for anybody in the KMAC to take just a set out of the Lady Trojans. That's how dominant they were last year. And, of course, this year we'll see if it ends up being that way. They did already lose a set to Loudonville. But still, the team remains strong as ever as Leonard mishits that one, leaves it short, and Centerburg takes set number 1 here at home.
Yeah, strong showing from the Lady Trojans there in that first set, 25-10. On the back of, their stars. Sedona Weisbrod did a lot from the service line, and then Jasmine at Larimore out on the outside. She really cemented her spot there, and she was able to get quite a few kills here in the first set, showing just the dominance and the high-poweredness and the quality of the offensive weapons for Centerburg.
I didn't think our staff would even notice that we switched cleaning companies, but they did right away. They noticed that the office was cleaner, that things were bright, more vibrant, and that created a more positive working environment for us. There's always a potential to spread illness if our building isn't as clean as it possibly could be. Having Pinnacle in our building to make sure that it's as clean and safe and healthy as it can be helps us take the best care of our patients. It's family owned and operated, they're local, which means a lot to us.
And welcome back, live and free on the OH Report. My name is Jonathan Langdon. Xander DeVault to my right. Camera operator today is Dylan Farrell. You see the Centerburg Lady Trojans on your screen. They just took set number 1 over Mount Gilead, 25-10. And speaking of them, sitting atop in this game, and they're pretty darn used to being atop of these standings that you see on your screen as well. 4-1 on the year, 3-0 in the KMAC. How about Northmore this year? They were sort of towards in the mid-range of the KMAC, but they sit towards the top as well, tied with Centerburg. And then Loudonville just behind. That's the team that took a set out of the Lady Trojans earlier on in the year. And then Mount Gilead right there in 4th place.
Yeah, I mean, we got a high-powered top of the standings here in the KMAC. Obviously, until Northmore plays Centerburg, we won't really know exactly where they stand in the KMAC kind of power rankings, the unofficial power rankings. We know Centerburg for the last couple of years has been dominant. So we'll see what Northmore can do here. And then Loudonville, I mean, taking a set off of this team, the only KMAC team to do that so far. So Loudonville could have a chance if they're able to, get better throughout the season. Who knows? Maybe next time they take 2.
Speaking of 2, we're going to head to set number 2. But also, when you saw in those standings, Fredericktown was neck and neck with Centerburg last year for the KMAC title, and they sit 1-4 with an even 1-1 record in the KMAC 2. So they're taking a little bit of a slide early season. They had a lot to replace. They had to replace a really quality setter in Callie Carpenter, and then a couple of other names as well. They bring back Maya Bryant and then also Ella Boughton. But after those 2 names, there's a lot of question marks. So early on in the year, that you have a couple of the tougher opponents that you play in non-conference, and they've gotten the better of Fredericktown to start the year. But in the KMAC, also shocking to see them already lose one. I'm curious to see who that was against. It could have definitely been against Centerburg. As I take a little research here to kind of look at that.
Fredericktown hasn't played Centerburg yet. So
looks like they lost to Northmore. So Northmore, there's a little bit of proving grounds there, taking down one of the top teams last year.
Yeah, I was actually talking to Jill Boughton today, former Fredericktown star volleyball player, and she was saying that their team isn't living up to their potential as of right now. So who knows? Maybe if they can kind of find their identity and start playing up more towards their skill level, then who knows, they can make a late season push.
They definitely could. However, wins and losses are very costly in volleyball. Getting one in one of your first 2 games of the year is a very hard sort of pit to bounce back from, especially with the teams that you've yet to play on your schedule. Like Centerburg, you play them twice still. So that could potentially be 3 losses to your name, while the Lady Trojans are threatening to go a perfect 14-0 as this ball will go inbounds. Looks like Wisebroad will get things started here in the second set.
Yeah, it's all about peaking at the right time, though. Fredericktown, if they are able to, squeeze into the tournament, really seedings don't matter at that point if you're playing well. So it'll be interesting to see how all the teams. I mean, we're still really early in the year right now, so no team is going to be what they are at the end of the season. And so it'll be interesting to see how these teams develop.
Yeah, definitely when it gets to state tournament, all bets are off.
Mm-hmm.
In the KMAC, of course, no postseason tournament, just with how Ohio High School does things.
Okay, I see. I didn't know that.
Yeah, so wins and losses very
yeah,
costly.
They definitely do matter. Then yeah, I'm a newbie here in the KMAC, so I was not aware they did not have a conference tournament.
So in Tennessee, do all the conferences have tournaments?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for sure. You got tournaments. If you make the championship of the conference, then you automatically go to districts, and then it's basically like top 2 go. As you see, a great kill there from Zoe Evans. The top 2 that finish in each thing go. So if you finish top 2 in conference in the tournament, you go to district. If you finish top 2 in district, you go to sectionals, I believe, which is sub-state. And then if you finish top 2 in sub-state, then you go to state from your region.
Well, we're all about participation here in Ohio because every team makes the tournament here in Ohio. So Mount Gilead will be there. Centerburg will be there. It'll just be a matter of who they face off against in the first round, because those first couple rounds, called sectional games before you even get to district, some of them can get pretty ugly.
Yeah.
but it's kind of the thing that has kind of materialized with COVID. With most of the sports, I don't know if it was this way for volleyball before where everybody made the tournament, but I know a couple of other sports like football, it never used to be that way. As we see Centerburg take a 6-1 lead as Weisbrod is here on the service line. It looks like we'll see some changes on Mount Gilead's side. But COVID definitely changed things, the landscape of high school sports. And the OH Report knows that full darn well as it's 7-1 because without COVID, this probably doesn't happen.
Yeah.
You probably don't see this live and free because the restrictions on live streaming were very tight. It was opened up with COVID, and we were one of the very few to pounce and take advantage. Mount Gilead just gets that over with Ayers. Caldwell sets far side to Larimore. That one kicked up, but out of bounds. Gotta love the effort from Whipple, but went wayward over towards the bleachers.
Yeah, this shows you good things always come out of bad situations, you know. So now we're able to get on here and live stream a whole lot of high school sports and have a great time doing it and hopefully help some people out that can't be here.
There's the serve that we missed in the replay. It's 9-1. And we're going to miss another serve in the replay. We'll get this one quick, though. That was an ace again from Weisbrod, her second in a row.
Doing a good job hitting the lines, especially the one right down there as she hits it again. It's really taken Mount Gilead out of system, and they're not being able to run their offense, so it's giving a lot of free balls.
Evans up the middle goes off the block. Sitting 11-1 now. And for Mount Gilead fans, I hate to bring it up, but last year, still a retooling year as Larimore throws herself off and gives the Indians a point. But at the reservation last year, this matchup, there was a 25-0 set. It was set 2. Mount Gilead had a really good first set, but it just felt like they started with the serve in that set, immediately gave it away on an error, and then just never got it back because Josie Dawes, who kudos to her graduating last year and doing great things in college now probably, but she was able to serve 24 straight over the net, which I think is the most impressive part of any sort of 25-0 run or 24-0 run since they got the first point off of Mount Gilead's serve. But it's more impressive to score because you're getting the ball over the net than it is to simply just be playing well.
Oh, yeah. I mean, to go that long and not err and not get so hyped up that you try to do something, you know, try to hit a line or go deep, go short, and you miss it. It's pretty impressive, able to get that many serves over in a row, and it ended up working. 25-0 in a set is fairly elusive in the game of volleyball.
Never heard and never seen from you.
I've never seen that before.
I've seen it just the once. So while it is a tough thing to bring up, it is very noteworthy too. Yeah.
The worst I've seen, so we're going to see a back row attack there from Centerburg. The worst I've seen was the game that I played in. And we beat, and we were playing in high school. In the third set, we beat a team 15-1. So that was the worst game that I've ever seen.
That was the fifth set?
It was the third. We only played 3
in
Tennessee. But yes, it was basically the fifth set, the third set, 15-1. I served 10 straight points, and then one of my teammates hit it in the net. And then they got that 1 point. So it was could maybe could have seen a 15-0 set.
It's always one play that you look back at. It's like, man, if it just wouldn't have happened that way.
If my buddy Eli wouldn't have hit it in the net, then who knows what we could have done. Josie Dawes now playing at Kentucky Christian University. So shout out.
Yeah.
Shout out there.
This ball will land in play. Miscommunication between Weisbrod and Larimore. They chatted up because they were both kind of curious. Who's covering that? Who's not? Because they were kind of in the in-between looking at each other like that Spider-Man meme.
Yeah, they're laughing about it. It's okay. I know in women's volleyball, the seams that you take in serve receive are a little different than men's. There's a nice shot there from Addison Williams on the right side. They do a lot of deep short stuff in serve receive. Guys, it's more straightforward. It's seams left or seams right. but they do, I got your short, I got your deep, stuff like that. So I'm sure there was some confusion there.
And that kind of explains to you, just looking at that formation from Mount Gilead, why they set up the way they do, because their libero, in your terms, has the deep.
Yeah, it's definitely, she's definitely got the deep. She is kind of, well, she's a lot farther back than the other two, so she definitely probably has the deep in serve receive, and the other two are kind of pinching up, taking the short there.
That one goes off the platform of Harris towards the bleachers. It's 16-5. And while it's rough to see this from Mount Gilead score-wise, you got to think it was needed, especially after getting a win against East Knox, to kind of knock you back down to earth and make you think about things. And there's a nice kill from the Lady Indians. But just to kind of get that drive back under you, because sometimes a win after so long can feel like we've reached the pinnacle, but there's so much more season to go. You know what I mean? Yeah,
there's definitely a lot more season to go and a lot better teams to play, as we're seeing them play a better team tonight in Centerburg. Centerburg's really just kind of suffocated them from the beginning, not allowed anything to happen. They've really not allowed any of Mount Gilead stars, Abby Leonard, as well as Cassidy Irwin. Nobody's really been able to get anything substantial tonight.
Caldwell, the set near side. Larimore will roll that over the top and just in front of Ayers before she could get to it. Caldwell, the set near side. Larimore will roll that over the top. Just in front of Ayers.
Ayers so close there on that one.
Larimore switches things up, and Whipple sends a free ball on the serve receive. Back to Weisbrod. She'll wind up, put it right down the middle.
Good shot there, going deep from Weisbrod. When you jump as high as Weisbrod and Larimore does, it's easy to want to swing straight down, but something that they've been doing very well is going deep, and it makes it a lot harder for the defense.
This ball sails out of bounds. 19-7 in favor of the home Trojans. Speaking of the Trojans, going to get to cover yet another game for them on the football field tomorrow night, as they are set to take on Johnstown Monroe, one of the bigger division schools in this area that we're in right now. As you see a solid volley cooking here, but that's simply tapped down. Yummy ball from Mary Beth Vines.
You and the yummy ball, man.
I got it from Travis, and I just decided to run with it. Tough one at the net, and Weisbrod simply gets that one down. But Centerburg football taking on Johnstown, I think that's going to be probably one of the games of the night that we cover, because Trojans, their football team looks really solid. They could definitely finish on top, as this ball just misses out of bounds. Indians strike again. But also Danville, we're going to get to cover them. I'll be there tomorrow for Danville's first ever game on their new home turf, which, have you seen it?
I have not.
It looks fantastic. Go ahead and do a little research on it. I am very excited to make my way over to Danville tomorrow night. Always a great place to be. Got to follow them all the way to the Final Four last year. This one's out of bounds. 2 in a row here for Mount Gilead. Katie Oliver will continue to serve.
Oh, wow. That's what it's going to look like?
Yes.
That is nice.
Yeah, he's looking at the picture right now. It's just
the rendering.
Yeah, the rendering.
Yeah, I like that. That's nice. It's got a little Detroit Tigers logo with Arizona State trident behind it.
Gotta love it when logos clash at the high school level. Nice point there from Mount Gilead. They back up to 10. It's 21-10. Oliver will continue to stroll along here. I believe it's a 3-point swing here for the Lady Indians. Set from Trainer. That'll sail out of bounds. But so Danville, they play Utica tomorrow. In fact, that's the team that Centerburg played last week. Centerburg won, I believe it was 34-0. So Utica, not the strongest showing last week, and it doesn't get much easier because I would say Danville and Centerburg are pretty much on level playing fields. At least in my eyes, they will be this year. 23-10 sits the score after a nice kill there for Centerburg. And then Danville, of course, they've got that home cooking. It'll be their first home game of the year. They played Worthington Christian on the road. Timeout here in the heart of Ohio. But Centerburg getting to start their season with 2 straight home games, handling Utica in week 1, going up against Johnstown, one of the bigger schools. And I think they're going to be a good presence. They went 9-3 a season ago. And now I just looked over at Xander's computer, and I think he just figured out why they got new turf.
Yeah, there's a picture online here.
Talking about Danville here.
Yeah, on Knox pages, and it's, wow, they are muddy out there, players. It must have been raining that night, and you can't even see their jerseys anymore.
Raining was an understatement.
Yeah,
we have a live. We were there.
Okay.
So if you want to look up on OH Report, Danville versus East Knox.
It's got sliding in the background.
Yeah. If you want to look up Danville versus East Knox, I believe it was 2 years ago now at this point, maybe 3, when the Devil Dog game was in Danville, and it was a monsoon. And dirt and mud just took over that game. And I think that night, the next Monday, the administrators met and said, okay, we have to do something about this.
Oh, man.
Evans up the middle here. 24-10, set point for Centerburg.
I'm sure if you were playing football, you wouldn't care, but that looks very uncomfortable.
See if Molly Kane can finish things off here. And that she will. Whipple ran up a little bit too far on it. And I believe for the second set in a row, it's going to be 25-10 the final. So the Trojans lead 2-0. Looking to continue to roll through the KMAC. They have now won 11 of their last 12 sets here this season in the league. We'll take a break, come back, see if they can add one more to it on the OH Report.
From primary care to orthopedics, women's health to pain management, the Knox Community Hospital Centerburg Health and Wellness Center provides excellent care for virtually all your family's healthcare needs. Comprehensive lab services are also offered at our state-of-the-art facility. Podiatry and surgical consultations too. The Centerburg Health and Wellness Center. It's a world of great care right around the corner.
Welcome back to the heart of Ohio, here live and free on the OH Report. Take a look at the 2-set scores. They'll look awfully similar. That's because they are 25-10, 25-10. And welcoming back Xander DeVault to this conversation. Mount Gilead, after a good win on Tuesday, kind of getting a little hit of reality against a team like Centerburg that likely is going to finish at the top of the KMAC this season. Just with how they've played the last couple of games, that's just how it feels. And also is going to make a pretty solid run in the postseason after they made a regional run last year.
Yeah, they're definitely one of the better teams in our area, and they've really just dominated their competition so far. Now, for Mount Gilead, you got to call a spade, right? I mean, they had a great game against East Knox. Nobody can take that away from them. They won their first conference game in the KMAC in 4 years, and that's an incredible match, something that will be remembered within their program. But nobody was expecting them to come out here and win this game. Centerburg's just really, really good. They're a really good volleyball team. There's not a whole lot of teams that would come out here and you would expect them to win or even give Centerburg a game. So while Mount Gilead, 25-10 is not what you want, you still got to look at the positives. The fact that you beat East Knox, the fact that you are 1-1 in the KMAC.
Well, I'll tell you what, for the second set of 3, Mount Gilead scores first. So Abby Leonard will serve. Tough off the platform from Turnbull, but Centerburg will have no problem with a free ball. Trainer sets near side. Ayers out of bounds. Did not get a touch either. Looking across the KMAC. Today, just 5 teams in action. Loudonville playing against Fredericktown. That's a pretty big game considering the struggles Fredericktown has seen as of late, going up against one of the other teams towards the top of the KMAC. Danville playing a non-conference game. They're up against Mansfield Christian, and I believe they're at home for that game. Ayers will try again. This one low after missing the last one far. 2-1 Lady Trojans. This one rough off the platform.
Yeah, we've seen some great serving from the back line from the Trojans so far tonight. It's really given Mount Gilead some problems.
Ayers with a free ball. This one far back to the line. Larimore. Tough one. Roll shot by Wisebrod. We'll see if they reset and go back to her. Instead to the middle. Simple tap. Trainer was ready. Another tap, this time by Ayers. Back to Wisebrod. And she puts it down the line. Not much you can do right there with just the pure power off of that swing.
Yeah, so Wisebrod a fantastic player. She's great at going down the line. She's really shown that tonight. That's been highlighted in her play. She has a lot of power when she torques and is able to turn that ball.
Good return from Mount Gilead. This one tapped off the block. I think it was Irwin that got a touch on it. 5-1 now. Looking ahead to Centerburg's schedule down the line. Talked about Danville. They're playing a non-conference game against Mansfield Christian tonight. They will next play Centerburg. That is on the 4th, which is next Thursday. So they've got plenty of time to kind of sit back after this game, Centerburg, and get ready for another rough stretch because they're going to play, it looks like sort of a Saturday, not a tri-match, more than 3 teams. It looks like 4 teams at a sort of invitational. They're going to play Highland, which is always a tough match, Buckeye Valley, and then also Adena. And the times say 10 a.m., 11 a.m., and 12 p.m., so back-to-back-to-back on a Saturday. Not always an easy thing to do, as the score has dwelled all the way up to 8-1 since I've gotten back to VMix to update the score.
Yeah, it's definitely not something easy to do. Playing multiple games in one day never is easy to do. And volleyball is one of the sports that you can do it, but that doesn't mean that it is easy on your body, especially having to go into a game, play, and stop, sit for, potentially hours. I know the VNU women's volleyball team, when they were over in California, they had almost like a 4-hour, 5-hour break between their matches. That is just rough on the legs. That one going to stay in. And we're going to see an error there, just too far from Ayers.
So Centerburg back on the board. Just looked at those 3 teams that they're going to play. Their combined record, 10-2. So they're playing some good competition. They're trying to get ready for the postseason. Of course, in the KMAC, it's been a little bit easy for them the last couple of years. Want to try to beef up that non-conference, and that's precisely what they've done. So next Saturday, going to be a really tough time for them. But right now, Jasmine Larimore continues to have herself quite the game. trying to get comfortable tonight, and that's exactly what she's done.
That was nasty. I mean, I don't know what else. I don't know how else to describe that. Up and over the block, she is just higher than everybody on the Mount Gilead side.
Score moves to 11-2 after a rough, just a mishandle by Cameron Harris, and timeout Mount Gilead.
Yeah, 11-2 the score. The Trojans, as Jasmine Lamore continues to dominate up there in that front row. I mean, it's rough to say there's really nothing you can do about it, but when she's going up over top of the block and straight down, I mean, there's not much. Because if the block was up there with her and she was hitting around it, you could shift your block, you could shift your defense. The only thing you can do right now is have that middle back come up and play it very, very short to dig that ball because she's hitting it straight down.
See head coach Wyeth trying to talk to her team for the Lady Indians, who trail by 9 here in set number 3. They lost both sets 1 and 2 by a score of 25-10. They've won 2 of their last 3 games. However, they have hit a brick wall when it comes to this Centerburg team, who we've bragged on all night. And one of the main stars, probably the star, is back to serve for Sedona Weisbrod, who, mind you, just a sophomore. We talked about it a lot last week, I think, when they were playing against East Knox, just the simple youth that this team has and how they're just going to keep on going up from here. Caldwell goes to Evans. That one in the block. Solid defense there from Cassidy Irwin to earn the point back for the Indians. That's a nice little coach's point.
Yeah, good timeout there for sure.
And after that, Irwin will send this high over the net. Caldwell to Larimore. Puts that one down. We could talk about the swings, but the sets are just as pretty. Caldwell, yet again, right on target.
Yeah, Caldwell's putting it up in a great spot, especially for Larimore, because she's really putting it tight to the net and high because she knows that her hitter can go up and get it where other people cannot.
That ball was overpassed on the serve, and Caldwell kind of just fell for it in no man's land. It's got to be nice when you've got high jumpers like Sedona and Jasmine, where you can honestly put it darn near anywhere, especially in the league when you can pretty much jump higher than everybody. Postseason, though, you can't kind of live on that, as I think Centerburg has started to find out here in the recent years, because you're going to go up against some quality opponents when you get to district finals, regional semis, which is where they bowed out last year to Coldwater, a team from Western Ohio that ended up winning state in their division, Division 5.
Yeah, there's always a bigger fish, right? There's always somebody who's bigger and badder and better. And so it's going to be interesting how this Centerburg team fares once they meet those teams. And you got to think it is something they're trying to avoid going this weekend, like you said, playing Highland, Buckeye Valley, Adena, all a 10-2 combined record from them. You got to think that with that strength of schedule, they are trying to prepare and kind of be able to simulate what it's going to look like when they have to play those better teams.
And that's why I think it's so hard. Honestly, in some cases, it's harder to coach a team like the Lady Trojans than it is to coach a team like Mount Gilead, because that mentality, that has to be thrown at these players pretty much every practice. And Xander, if you were in Coach Abigail's shoes, how would you coach this team to kind of prepare like that for a team moving forward later in the season?
I mean, you got to keep reminding them that it's not going to be this easy, and it seems like it is, right? As Larimore bears that one in the net. There's a lot of success that is shown in the KMAC, in the out-of-conference schedule, especially early in the season. But you got to keep reminding them that it's definitely not going to be this easy all the way through, and that I would encourage them to play these games, to play the Mount Gilead games, play the East Knox games, as if they are playing one of those top teams, because it's not going to do you any good. Now, I'm not taking anything away from Weisbrod or Larimore from going up and bouncing a ball. I mean, that is incredible. And it's great to do. It's great to feel when you do it. But you're obviously not going to be able to do that against those teams. So I would encourage to play a little bit more as if you had a bigger block. Swing deeper, as we were talking about earlier, because that's going to prepare you better to play bigger blocks, to play better teams. And we're going to get a taste of it this upcoming weekend, or next weekend, I should say, when they head on over there and play some quality opponents.
Whipple can't field that serve. Lady Trojans 18, Lady Indians 5. And then on the flip side for Mount Gilead, coming out of this game with a tough 3-set loss. They were able to get to 10 in both of those first sets. Still have some work to do to get there here. Go to the middle, and that goes to the net. But looking ahead to their schedule, got to see who they're going up against. They'll play Plymouth. Non-conference game. Plymouth, not the greatest season last year, so definitely a winnable game for Mount Gilead yet again. Try to stack up some more wins out of the league. Then they go up against pretty darn good gauntlet in the KMAC, Fredericktown and then Northmore. And then after that, they'll play Granville Christian Academy, a team that I don't know anything about. And then Danville and then Cardington Lincoln. So there's some winnable games, but it's going to still take some work.
Definitely will take some work.
Jasmine back to serve for Centerburg. They've reached 20. Close to the net, and Trainer couldn't do anything with it. 4 points away from a 3-set sweep.
I do think going ahead and playing these really good teams is going to help Centerburg, because people hear strength of schedule, they hear that phrase and they think it's a bad thing. They think that if you have a high strength schedule, oh, that means we're going to lose more games. But I mean, when you're a below average team, when you're a bad team, yeah, strength of schedule is rough. But when you're a good team, you want your strength of schedule to be good, because that's only going to make your team better. They say iron sharpens iron, and that is definitely what it takes, because the better teams that you play during the regular season, especially if, first of all, like you said, all Ohio teams are going to make the tournament. If that's going to be the case, then you want to play the best competition you can, because then you'll be the most ready when you get there.
And with that said, as Weisbrod puts down a solid kill, they're 2 points away from winning today. Great teams are going to be great, of course. They're going to have their 1-2 loss seasons, but when you look at a lot of higher quality high school and then even college ball, in the top rankings, maybe like 5 through 10, you've got teams, as Mount Gilead scores a point here, you've got teams that have 7, 8, 9 losses on their schedule. But why are they up there? It's who they're playing.
Yeah, exactly. And like you said, those teams are always more well-equipped and well-ready to take on the higher teams. They know what it takes. They've played them all season long. Whether they won or they lost, they have experience in that moment. When other teams that don't do that, yeah, their record may look good, it may look flashy, but really they've played nobody. And so when they get to that point, they don't know what to do. They don't know how to play against a team that is the same caliber as them. Even if they are a great team, experience matters. And that's something that you can't take away. And that's something that a good strength of schedule will give you.
Centerburg looking to close things out here tonight. They are on match point. 24-6. A lot of teams take their foot off the pedal in a position like this. Centerburg, all gas. And that's exactly how they'll finish things off here tonight. Biggest set win of the day is the last one, and the Trojans move up to 5-1 on the season. And they move to 4-0 in the KMAC. 3-0 win over Mount Gilead. We'll take a break, come back with your MVP. We'll go ahead and talk to Jasmine Larimore here momentarily, live and free on the OH Report.
Looking for the best high school sports coverage in Ohio? You found it right here on the OH Report. From the field to the court, we've got it all. OH Report brings you local coverage like nobody else in the area, live and free. Follow OH Report now and never miss a moment of the action. Don't just watch, be a part of the game with OH Report, the future of local sports.
Every time that we walk in, we know we're going to walk into a place that's very clean, and when we walk in, we have a professional environment to come to. The reliability of Pinnacle is always on the spot. We've been with them 16 years so far. They're committed, they are professional, they are very transparent with their pricing, and they excel at meeting every goal and every need we have.
From primary care to orthopedics, women's health, to pain management, the Knox Community Hospital Centerburg Health and Wellness Center provides excellent care for virtually all your family's healthcare needs. Comprehensive lab services are also offered at our state-of-the-art facility. Podiatry and surgical consultations too. The Centerburg Health and Wellness Center. It's a world of great care right around the corner.
Take a look at all the action from Friday night football right here in North Central Ohio with great analysis, highlights, coach interviews, and so much more every single Friday night right here on the OH Report.
Time now for your Schmidt Security Pro MVP. Joining us here today is Jasmine Larimore. Congratulations to you on the win here today. All gas, no brakes in the sweep over Mount Gilead. Yeah. We were talking up here just kind of about in games like this where you've got big set leads, how do you as a team kind of execute and just continue to keep going despite looking at the scoreboard?
We just got to keep the energy up, and our coach always tells us that she always helps us keep the energy up too, and we just got to keep making big plays and not stoop down to their level in games like this.
All right, and you definitely did that today, ending off, I would say, better than you did starting out. Mm-hmm. Got some nice swings there. Just talk about the confidence that you're trying to build going into a tough non-conference schedule coming up next week.
Mm-hmm. Coach has already talked to us. We're about to play a lot more games in September, so just working hard in practice, and coach always helps pick us up when we have tough games like that. And yeah, just picking each other up, and we work really hard in practice, and yeah.
Well, Jasmine, just kind of brag on your teammates. I'm going to give you time to shout out later, but just talk about specifically your teammates and what they've done to kind of get you comfortable going into a big sophomore year.
All my teammates really help me and pick me up. When I have mistakes and stuff like that, they're always there for me, and they always make it known that those mistakes, they don't mean anything, and next ball, every time I make a mistake and stuff like that. And we are a young team, and I think we do pick us all up, which is good.
All right, Jasmine, off the court, go ahead and take a look at the camera. Give shout out to anybody you want.
Shout out my teammates, shout out Sedona, my pepper partner, and shout out my mom, my sister, and my stepdad. I love you all.
Jasmine Larimore, good game for her today, and she's going to try to keep it going as Centerburg tries to get that unbeaten streak going. Thanks so much for joining us.
From primary care to orthopedics, women's health, to pain management, the Knox Community Hospital Centerburg Health and Wellness Center provides excellent care for virtually all your family's healthcare needs. Comprehensive lab services are also offered at our state-of-the-art facility. Podiatry and surgical consultations too. The Centerburg Health and Wellness Center. It's a world of great care right around the corner.
Time to jump into our post-game show brought to you by Webb's Marathon and Automotive. Jonathan Langdon alongside Xander DeVault. Before we get started talking about this game, I want to thank our sponsors one final time as you see the final score. Centerburg 3, Mount Gilead 0. We'll throw up the set scores as we read off our sponsors here tonight. Thanks so much to Webb's Marathon and Automotive. Stop by Webb's Marathon to join the Webb's Rewards program where you can earn top dollars off fuel and free drinks and coffee. Go Trojans. Thanks also to Ohio AmVets Post 59, where we honor our veterans, celebrate our community, cheer for the Trojans, and welcome everyone to come enjoy great food and drinks at the club. Thanks also to Monarch Title Services. If you're selling or refinancing your real estate, you get to choose the title company. Why not support those who support the Trojans and close with confidence anytime, anywhere? Thanks to Schmidt Security Pro, your MVP sponsor. From the field to your front door, trust Schmidt Security Pro to protect what matters most. Thanks to Knox Community Hospital, the Centerburg Health and Wellness Center, offering specialty services like family medicine, urology, general surgery, weight and pain management, and pediatrics. And finally, Pinnacle Building Services, elevating your professional space with tailored cleaning solutions that promise unmatched quality and reliability. Thanks to all of our sponsors for Centerburg Athletics. You hear a lot of their names tomorrow for football. Great supporters of the OH Report. Looking at these set scores, 25-10, 25-10, 25-6. I welcome back in Xander just to kind of put a bow on this game and what Centerburg was able to do from the beginning all the way to the end and how they executed.
I mean, it feels like the bow was put on it from the start. It feels like from the first serve, Centerburg had already wrapped that bow, especially regarding star sophomore outside hitters Sedona Weisbrod, as well as our MVP Jasmine Larimore. Both of them really just showed how dominant they are, and this whole Trojans team really just put it to them. And you talked to Jasmine about keeping the foot on the gas throughout a game like that, and they were able to do that, which is something that shows the experience and the talent of this Centerburg team. But they're going to be tested coming up, so it's going to be interesting to see how they fare outside of the KMAC, and that will tell a lot to us about their team.
Lady Trojans have the week off. They'll take on Danville this time next week in their next KMAC game, and then it's that invitational weekend that we talked about, a couple of solid opponents that they will have to go up against moving forward. This is the replays from yesterday, but all these players have what they learned here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, it shouldn't bring down the morale. You don't expect to come out this year. One of the lower, you kind of sit lower in the rankings. Obviously, they did get away. The Centerburg powerhouse, they put a powerhouse for years, and so they showed why they are powerhouse. Not really it's a good start. They still are kind of thriving off of that win against East Knox on Tuesday. That's something they have to hold on to. That's something they have to use, and they have to use it going forward as the season is long, and we are still in the early moments.